Hi everyone, Jess here, and today I'm joined with Ching Kiat from Changi Airport Group. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, my pleasure.
So first off, how are you embracing technology to remain at the forefront of the industry?
Yep. There's a few aspects for technology. I think one, for example, is in terms of customer interface. I think after COVID, there's more expectation of leveraging technology. So now, as you come through Changi Airport, there's more automation. I think where we can is mobile check-in, and our immigration is automated gates. Later this year, we are very excited for passportless travel for Singapore residents and departing business. So these are areas where we can leverage technology. But at the same time, I think while leveraging technology, we're very mindful not to lose the human touch. So for example, for your immigration, automated immigration, when you put in your passport, if for example you are Indonesian passport, the language of instruction becomes Bahasa Indonesian. So these are some of the small touches where while leveraging technology, we can try to still have the level of intimacy with the customer. And then at the back end of the house, I think more automation on airside. We're trialing out different trials of autonomous vehicle dollies, automated dollies and all that to just save on manpower. So those are the key priorities.
Absolutely, and with such high passenger traffic flowing through, a lot of it must be to do with efficiency and optimization, am I correct?
Correct. So in addition to the two trends I mentioned earlier, we're also leveraging AI and machine learning to see how to do better forecasting or even for preemptive maintenance. So those are things within the organization. We'll see how we can make use of the huge amount of data that we have and then running a smarter and more efficient operation.
Absolutely, and one of the key themes we've been hearing recently is that to fully leverage AI and use all your data, it's important to really clean your data. Has this been something that you found a challenge?
True. I think there are a few key areas of challenges. We have data from different sources, from immigration, from the airlines, even from our shops. So how do you actually clean it up and integrate it? And of course, at the same time, respecting your data privacy and privacy concerns. So I think this is one part. Actually, there's a lot of data. How do you make best use of that?
And some really exciting news that's come from Changi Airport Group is your plans to install rooftop solar panels by 2025 rather. Can you highlight the significance of this? Why is it such an impressive achievement?
For sustainability, I think there are a few areas we are looking at. Already today, for the airport, most of the energy consumption is from electricity. So you can only decarbonize as fast as the grid decarbonizes. Of course, where we can, we are investing in the renewable sources like solar paneling and also more efficient use, like a more energy efficient air conditioner, chillers and all that. So I think that's one aspect. The second aspect is try to educate the consumers on more responsible traveling. So last year we started our carbon offset program where consumers can choose to offset their own for their own trips, their carbon footprint. So I think that has proved to be quite popular. I think the third aspect is, in addition to reducing our own scope 1 and scope 2, is working with our key partners to help them get more sustainable. So one aspect is sustainable aviation fuel. So the Singapore government just announced their blueprint, and from the airport's point of view, we are making sure that our infrastructure can support SAF, which will help our partners. And for our airside partners with their vehicles, they are going through more electrification. We are rolling out to make sure that there's enough electrical charging points so that we can achieve our targets of no full electrification for light airside vehicles by 2025.
That's amazing to hear. We often find that Scope 3 emissions are the hardest to target and often even the hardest to quantify. How are you guys making progress with this?
I think we are still working with the partners to see how this can be done. I think for the carbon offset program, we are working with specialists in this area to quantify it. So ultimately, I think we are definitely taking the right steps towards sustainability. But at the same time, we are mindful that I think air travel is still very important to this part of the world for young economies and separated by islands and all that. There's actually not that many viable options of high-speed rail to offset that. So we're trying to draw a balance and working with the key partners to move at a steady pace.
Fantastic. And it sounds like you're working hard to integrate sustainability right into the framework of the airport.
Yeah.
What other strategic priorities do you have for the next 5 or so years?
Right. I think for number one, the outlook for aviation in this part of the world is still looking very strong. For 2043, the forecast is China, India, Indonesia will be among the top 5 aviation markets in the world. And then given the geographical position, I think Singapore is well positioned to tap on those 3 flows. So we are busy with the Terminal 5 project, which will be ready in the mid-2030s to scale up our terminal capacity as high as we can. And in the near term, the priority is as we emerge from COVID, I think we want to definitely strengthen our position as the best connected hub in Asia, and then flying to trying to get our network expanded to new points. So for example, for China, now we are connected to 27 cities in China. Pre-COVID was 37. So we're still trying to just patch up those white spaces that we used to have and reconnect to those cities.
Yes. And of course, we're really seeing India drive the growth of South Asia at the moment. So can you expand a little bit? You mentioned the sort of strengthening connections. Is there anything else you're doing particularly to target that market?
Correct. So for India, I think Singapore is one of our fastest growing traffic segment. It has already exceeded pre-COVID levels of traffic, and our city links have also been exceeded pre-COVID levels. We added Bhubaneswar and Pune in the last year. Well, moving forward, I think we see great potential in linking some new cities. Top of the list, we have Jaipur, we have Lucknow. I think those areas warrant a direct flight. So we are in active conversation with our key airline partners to connect to those places. Yes.
That's great. And how does events like Aviation Festival Asia really help to promote innovation within the industry?
I think this event is very useful. I think it has become a marquee aviation event in Singapore. So many cases, just now I met a lot of old friends, familiar faces at the event. So it's getting people to come together and then to restore or deepen your existing partnerships, as well as discover new partnerships, because there are new vendors, new suppliers, and new partners. You can have bring new ideas to the table.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights with me.
Very much.
It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you.